What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto Uncensored. Let's talk XRP and are the whales selling? Should we be concerned? Let's get straight on into that one. Before we look at any charts, let's jump over to the memberships website. Of course, that is memberships.cheekycrypto.io. All the membership plans are here, guys. If you have not already visited the site, come over, find the plan that best fits your need. You're seriously missing out should you not have a plan. But of course, we're coming over to the data zone, into the data portal. We will be displayed with the overview, talking all of the interesting things here for XRP, all-time high days from all-time high and such. But I want to come into here to the wallets and really look at what's going on with XRP's wallet counts. So we can see the wallets holding over 100 XRP have been slipping in the last 60 days. Now granted, it is only down 0.13%, a drop from 32,913 to 32,871. But we've seen this slip happen consecutively over these counts. The 30-day, the 14-day, the 7-day, and of course the daily. A slippage in wallet counts for XRP holding over 100,000 XRP tokens. Now, could we argue that profits are being taken? Could we argue that, people are perhaps getting a bit scared of the price action? We will get into that one a little bit later. Overall, I'm not overly concerned. When we look at the wallets holding over 1 million XRP, now we don't expect these guys to move all too often. We can see, it's been pretty steady over the last 365 days. Yes, it has climbed up in the last year. It dropped down in the last 180 days. But yeah, overall, pretty much sideways, that these wallet counts don't move much and we don't expect them to. But when we start looking at the lower wallet counts, now granted it is still an incredible amount of money to hold over 100,000 XRP, but a strong period here of selling off. The wallet counts holding over 10,000 XRP in the last 14 days, well, once again, a period of selling off. Is it something to be concerned about? I do not think it is just yet. Until we start seeing large numbers, large percentages here. Now for reference, a large percent in my opinion would be 1%. 3%, perhaps 5%. That's when I would probably start to be concerned. I do not see this as an issue. I've seen a few things floating about on the likes of X, hence why I'm doing this video today, talking about wallet counts dropping for XRP. I do not see this as a big concern. Profits are being taken. Perhaps people are acting on the notion of news articles that are released. I do not see this overall as a big drop, especially wallets holding over 10,000 XRP. It's only dropped 0.06% from 280,098 to 279,938. Personally, I don't think that's a big drop. Now, can that move the price of XRP? It most certainly can, but I don't expect it to move it all too much, considering where the price has dropped down to. Currently sitting around about 51 cents. I don't see that as a big issue. And then the wallets holding over 1,000 XRP, well, we can see this dropping even further. 7 days and a day ago, this is the only negative in this wallet count holding over 1,000 XRP. So again, I don't see this as much of an issue. And then we come down to the retail level, wallets holding over 100 XRP. Granted, it doesn't take all too much fiat capital to hold over 100 XRP. These guys have remained pretty static. This steady incline to the upside, or rather the steep incline to the upside, heavy accumulation at this level. And again, I think we could argue that with the wallets holding over 1,000 XRP, heavy accumulation. And when we throw it over to the liquidations, well, that, in my opinion, paints a pretty picture. Only $141,000 worth of liquidations in the last 24 hours. 76% longs, 23.5% shorts. I don't think that's a tremendous amount. The price has been static, it is moving sideways. And in my opinion, I am not concerned about the price action of XRP. So we'll throw over to the charts. XRP paired up with USDT, Binance being the data source. On the weekly chart we will start off with here. We have followed this yellow trend line for a period of time, and we now know that we have lost this trend line. But you will see I have formed another trend line on the chart here. Starting on the 6th of May 2023, we found a retest of this level on the 14th of August 2023 at 42.26 cents. Then we found another test here on the 1st of January, dropping down to 50 cents exactly. But recently we have dropped lower than there, coming down to test out the 200 EMA at 49.68 cents. We've seen the price dropping down to 49.62 cents, so wicking just below that 200 EMA. But potentially finding support here on the weekly time frame. We can see the stochastic positionings on the weekly and the daily have now reset, are in the oversold position. Granted, they can stay here for a period longer, that's perfectly fine. But with us finding support on that 200 EMA, we could potentially be in the cusp of a push to the upside. We covered this in the previous video for XRP also. We were expecting, potentially a further pullback to test out those EMAs. We did lose the 50 EMA. We did lose the 50 SMA. We have came down and tested that 200 EMA. Should we lose that 200 EMA, then we would look for consolidation further down in the charts, perhaps looking to retest some previous lows. Let's mark them up. 47.29, 45.90. Then we're looking down here at the 42.26 cent level. Three interesting levels we could find support for XRP's price action. Overall, I am not concerned. Should we see the price slip on down, I see that as a fantastic opportunity. When we come on down to the daily chart, well, we have now lost that area we were looking to hold as support between 55.9 and 51.3. Failing to hold there, dropping lower than the previous wick on the 3rd of January of 50 cents. Well, we have found the price dropping lower, and we may still have a little bit more still to go. We can see that Smart Money Concept tells us we do have a strong low down here at 45.92 cents. I don't expect that low to be broke before we look for that next push to the upside. But with us exceeding this C-wave target area, well, will we be expecting further to the downside? Let's drop it down a chart to the 4-hour time frame, and we'll talk about where we came from. So of course we did see this fantastic, relief rally to the upside, seeing the price push up to 62.39 cents on the BitGet 4-hour chart, and that retracement within itself does look complete. On this push to the downside, is that yet complete? I don't think it is. What we can do here is draw on some fib levels and really map out the move that has played out. We will take that 100% of the initial drop to the downside, bring it over to the swing high we do have here of 59.315 cents. And crucially, what we can see the price action doing is meeting the 1.382 Fibonacci level at 49.996, telling us that we may have a bit of a push to the upside, which will be great on the lower time frames, but the potential still remains for another drop to the downside. What would that look like? Well, let's draw it up. So we will take the high of the origin and down to that first wick low, and let's bring it down to the low we do have down here at 49.625. We know that we will be looking for that next retracement to the upside between the 50 to 88.2% level. This one here coming at 55.345 with the lower level of 52.791. This, in my opinion, would be an X-wave retracement, a secondary X-wave retracement. Now, what would that structure look like? We would have the origin coming down in the W wave, up into the first X wave, down into the Y wave, up into the secondary X wave, then we would look for that Z wave to the downside. Now, the move in the secondary X wave, we could potentially come up and test out the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA. So this is an early target area, but we could be looking for the price to come down to 49.8, potentially dropping as low as 46.1 cents. Overall, giving us the potential path over the next coming days, perhaps into next week, for XRP's price action. A potential push to the upside, 52 to 55 cents, followed by a potential drop to the downside, 49 to 46 cents. So when we bring it back up onto the daily chart, well, we would know that we can further analyse this move. Well, we know that we are looking at a W, X, Y, X, and potential Z wave still to come, where we would be targeting 49 to 46 cents, where we previously spoke about not breaking that previous strong low. And again, the stochastic on the daily is now sitting in the oversold position. I do think one last drop to the downside would be healthy for XRP's price action. From there, we could look for that push to the upside. Now, whether that push to the upside is quite underwhelming, perhaps only testing the 200 EMA at 56.8 cent, maybe a bit further to test out the 50 SMA at 58.11, or maybe even that 50 SMA at 59.73, where we do see equilibrium. We may even push up further in the charts. It's just too early to tell that one. We will obviously structure that as the time plays out. And then lastly, we'll leave it off on the weekly chart. We know the bulls and the bears will be fighting out the 200 EMA, the 50 SMA and the 50 EMA here on the weekly count. Dropping lower than that 200 EMA, well, the bears will be in full control. In my opinion, holding that 200 EMA, the bulls are still in control of XRP's price action, further backed up with the stochastic positioning on the daily and the weekly timeframes. A retest of that upper trend line this week would be at 72.24 cents. I do not expect that one to happen, guys. I don't think that is even in the question. So to round up today's video, I am not concerned by the potential whales selling XRP. I do not think that is happening. Yes, there's a lot of articles coming out surrounding the SEC and the battle with Ripple. I'm not concerned about that just now, guys. I don't think it's much of an issue. Hope you've enjoyed today's update. If you want to carry on watching content from the channel, check out the latest video from Cheeky Crypto Uncensored.